Y'all ever have a group in media that you just really like? You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be the heroes, doesn't necessarily have to be the villains, could even be anti-heroes. It's just a group in media that you really enjoy, like a anime, or a show, or a game, or a bad game. Hello everyone, my name's King Kosuke, welcome back to the channel. I'm sure y'all have a lot of questions, like, why does your mic sound like ass? And why are you wearing Zhongli as a skin suit? And why are you a bit more fluid than normal? The answer to all those questions is, I'm here in the VR chat green room, like a nerd. Yeah, I don't know why I thought this was a good idea. My original thought process was that if I take Pedo Simulator and Pedo Simulator and I mash them together, something funny would happen. Instead, I feel like a moron. But we're in too deep now, so we're gonna go into it anyways. Anyway, before we start, did you guys know only 3.5% of you are subscribed? I've re-recorded this video 5 times, and every time I say that number out loud, it makes me want to commit passionate kissies with the barrel of a Remington. With that being said, let's get into today's video. The Fatui Jobbers. Yes, that is their name now. I'm not gonna call them anything else until they fix their fucking act. So today, ladies and gentlemen, we talk about the Fatui Jobbers. These guys, I hate my life because I actually really like this group. The Fatui are one of my favorite in the Genshin-verse. But fuck it, let's move on. Oh yeah, and I usually give you guys like a freeze frame of something, right? So here's that. I'm not sure what it was. I don't have any prior images to add. So, I'll find something, and you guys can figure out what it is that I found. Alright, let's move on. So, first of the Jobbers, their director, the first of the Harbingers. He's not even technically the first. He's just the director of the Harbingers. Pierrot. The Jester. The Clown. Who? Who is this guy? What has he done? Does he have any feats? The answer is maybe. You read like some random book in Leeway, probably. I don't know. He was in Nod-Krai for a bit. Ooh, he was a Conrian mage. Except his only feat as a Conrian mage was getting dog walked by all the other ones. So low key, I'm not sure how great a feat that is, to have on your registry. He was with our sibling. He was with Abyss sibling, mention of a dead storyline that got brought back in Nod-Krai. And I'd like to point out how the only time we get anything, like, good, I don't even say good, the only time we get anything regarding the Abyss sibling storyline in general is in Nod-Krai. An unplanned thing. When it comes down to it, what has he actually done for the Fatui? He's hired people. That's it. That's his big claim to fame. He hired folks. He hired Scaramouche, he hired Dottore, and then he hired Signora. And that's it. He hired Ashes, Mother Issues Incorporated, and then Dottore. I don't really need to say anything else about Dottore. But yeah, that's really it for this guy. He didn't do much, hasn't done much yet in lore, as far as I can tell. Will he do anything? Maybe, possibly, probably not. I wouldn't be surprised if in 6.8 he actually comes back as an anime waifu. Because Dottore, Void Magic, Abyss Magic. Oh. I'm sure you guys can already tell that there's going to be one specific Harbinger here that I have a real deep resentment for. Next, Capitano, Thrain, the Captain, or the Paraplegic, as I call him now. because what have they done to my boy? What have they done to you, sweet Capitano? You did not deserve this, but you were dealt it anyway. He's Stephen Hawking's now. Christopher Reeves, even that was a low blow. That one was bad. It was tragic. We've waited on Capitano for years, genuine years, since we first heard him mentioned. And this is what we're given. We saw him in a Winter Night's Lotso, and we said, ooh, let me pull for this man. Instead, this man pulled up on a chair. So, like, you know, his storyline was cool. His build-up was cool. The fact that he has, like, the spirits of his dead comrades in him, and he's marching on for their, you know, for their sakes, because he's the GOAT and the best harbinger, and everyone else sucks. I'm Dottore. Dottore's there. I like Dottore. He's like second in line, but Capitano's like, he's just like better than everybody else, you know. Woo, but that's besides the point. He is patient one of the sickness, and you might be asking me, Kosuke, what is the sickness? What are you talking about? Like, are you well? The answer is no, but I'll tell you what the sickness is. It's what happened to him in the chair. That I don't have an exact term for it, so I just call it the sickness. But it's when we, as a community, wait for a character that's been built up for ages and ages and ages, and they either become unplayable and different, the same but unplayable, or playable and different. What the hell? But why? I can't break down yet. I haven't even gotten to Colombina. That's later. This is... So, when it came to Capitano, he stayed the same, but we can't play him. Well, mostly stayed the same. He's been painted as a very honorable figure throughout all of Genshin's story. It was actually really nice. I really enjoyed his character. I still do really enjoy his character. What I don't enjoy is him being turned into a Deus Ex Machina, because at the end of the Natlan story, John Hoyo himself kind of realized he wrote himself into a corner by, like, having the Draco spirit of Roranova show up or whatever. I'm not gonna bother to remember that asshole's name. And so we're like, well, Capitano sacrifices himself in the void really quick. Why not? Or is in the Night Kingdom fighting eternally. I don't know. It's pretty clear that he's going to get up from that throne and rejoin the fight and become playable, but you already did it with Signora. You don't gotta do it again. We made it very clear we don't want that shit happening again. But whatever. They don't... Whatever makes some money, I guess. Oh, I don't know, man. Next up is Zandique, Dottore, the Doctor. The one everybody likes to hate for being a good villain. When they asked for Hoyo to give us a good villain, but they hate him anyway, and then send Hoyo death threats. So, you know, that's great. So he is the second largest sufferer of the sickness, being that he is currently unplayable and switched up a little bit. Because why? Is Dottore, the one they set up to be cuckoo psycho crazy in the head, right? Who's like a little bit, right? He's not all there. Now sitting here in yandere simulator mode, begging us, pleading with us, Traveler Chan, you gotta... I'm not gonna expose you all to that. I'm so sorry. That was horrible. And I get like, oh, well, he's just trying to use the Traveler, or whatever. Yes, I agree. But the only thing stopping that is I don't think he was this on dick for anybody else. Wasn't this on dick for Scaramouche, I can tell you that. Especially from what we hear from Scara. Wasn't this on dick with Colombina, the whole sister thing with Colombina, which I couldn't even tell you what's going on there. That's kind of low-key crazy to me. But this was, to me, at least from like what I saw, was this was bigger to him. He wanted, this was like the big thing that would prove Celestia wrong, right? Or like that would prove everybody else wrong. It's like he had the Traveler, he had the Descender, he was about it, he was making moves, And then Aether or Lumine, depending on who you're playing, pulls out this corny ass line of like, I guess I'm not a hero. Like, shut the fuck up! What? What are we talking about right now? I was never a hero. Get a load of this writing. MHAS bullshit. It's clear that he's not really dead. There's so much pointing to that he's coming back. But if leaks are true, and he's coming back as some, like, beta cuck version of himself, maybe don't put him back. I don't know, man. Maybe we don't have him back. Because I'd rather play actual Dottore than, like, maybe Dottore. 30% Dottore. Timu Alibaba Dottore. Like, I mean, I'll take what I can get. Like, of course, I want to see what a Dottore kit would be like. But I don't want to wait 50 sectillion years, right? I don't want to witness the heat death of the universe just to play a Dottore that's like, guys, we can all be friends. Like, no, I don't want that shit. Next is Colombina. I wanted to talk about this real long time because Dawe. What? What are we doing? You had it. It was right there. It was good. And then it wasn't good. Why did it stop being good? Like, are we so for real? How do you get this lost in the sauce? How do you uncook everything? You took a completed meal and you turned it raw. How do you reverse cook something? What? De-evolution by all accounts. And then there's the very obvious fact that she is the sickness. She's the switch up that we got to play. None of us wanted this version. And those that do are playing one-handed and probably don't have a job or a girlfriend or prospects in life or a degree. That being said, I know there's absolutely Stop it. That being said, I know that there's That being said, I know there is absolutely going to be people in my comment section being like, oh no, she isn't waifu bait. She was meant to be like that. No, the fuck she was not. You couldn't pay me enough money in the fucking galaxy to convince me this is what Colombina was supposed to be. Because it's not. This Nod-Krai was rushed as fuck. They admitted it was rushed and it wasn't even supposed to happen. So of course, changes to Colombina's character were probably made, such as Dawe turning Angel Woman, very spooky, very scary, which was like, oh, that's just fan works. You're just basing that off of fan works. That was never really her. But hey, get so close right now. Yeah. Just let it happen. Those were fan works that Hoyo supported, dumbass. So when people come in here and start telling me that all of it is just fan fiction, and that I'm getting mad because my idea of Colombina, which was low-key everybody else's idea of Colombina, wasn't updated into the game, or wasn't put into the game, yeah, sure, I can be a salty bitch about it, but I really don't like this version of Colombina. Next up, we have Pierrot. It is Pierrot. We have Pierrot, aka Arlecchino, aka the Knave, aka sub 5 if I'm being so honest. I like Arlecchino as much as the next guy. The woman's so mommy that she is in fact daddy. But don't you think we glazing her a little too hard? Like beyond that, you know? I mean, she's smart as fuck. I'll give her that. Out of all of the Harbingers, she has the most feats to her name and the most battles won. Because she doesn't fight in a battle she'll know she'll lose. She has never participated in something that is beyond her pay grade. She just kept getting fed jobbers, and that's it. Like, all the fights we see in, like, Fontaine, jobber fights. Like, that is the only kind of thing she has to her name right now, is that she keeps getting fed, like, insignificant kind of, like, aura fights. And, ooh, her on-screen effects were crazy. She has the glitch effect if you pay close enough, and, oh, her weapon effect is cool. Like, that's it. That's all she is at this point. Is that didn't show up in Nod-Krai, kind of sat there in her Fontanian office being like, huh, ooh, there's some real heavy hitters over there. I'm gonna stay here, I think. I shan't take a loss ever in my life. Really a prime example of the King of Heroes strategy being that as long as you don't engage in an individual that you know you'll lose to, the community will just hype you up. And you'll never have to suffer aura loss a day in your life. But, see, the only problem with that is when people start to realize that aura is otherwise fraudulent, then, buddy, you start getting called a fraud. So there's that. And I've made a video on Scaramouche before. I've said the Scaramouche agenda there. But he went from bullying child to getting bullied by a child. And that's some crazy work to me. And again, I'm going to say here what I said in that video. Your own element abandoned you. You got team switched. And if I am legally allowed to pick your name for you, you no longer get to classify as anyone with aura. Nor do you get to build it back up. Nor do you get to refarm it. Nor do you get access to it in the future or whatever. Like, no, you're done. Like, you're out of the game for life. She was low-key laying hands on the doctor. Like, that Markiplier punch she was about to hit, that was tough. Like, if I'm being so honest, that was so tough. I'm not going to call it a feat, but that was such a cool thing to see, like, such a cool little detail in the background. It's not immediately, like, in your face, but you can see it if you look hard enough. She was going to run him down, and that was really funny. So, give us more things like that. That was hilarious. Unfortunately, her best feat is not getting off-screened. That is her strongest feat so far, is that she didn't get off-screened. At least we got to see her physical death, right? That is, for Sandrone, that's her number one right there. She died, but at least it wasn't an off-screen. She has that, kind of. That's not so much a feat as it is just like, congrats, the bare minimum. But she's a bare minimum character, if I'm being so honest. She's tsundere bait. She was there to be there. Her pull-up was epic as shit. Her pull-up with Polonia was even better. That first weird-ass Ad Astra Abyssosque we get from her when we realize it's not Catherine, like, that was so cool. I remember geeking over that first entrance scene. That was so tough. That lasted for 2 minutes. Yikes. You know what I'm saying? Yikes. That's really tragic. Are they going to bring her back? I'm starting to think not, and honestly, I hope they don't. Let her fade away. She's had enough. She's tired. She's probably with her husband now because Venti fucked her over. So, you know, I have it on pretty good authority that she's not, like, suffering in Inazuma hell, and she's probably in a better place. Let her rest, dog. She was a jobber kill. At least let her, like, live the rest of her afterlife in happiness. Don't bring her back just so she can be a jobber kill again, because we know that's what's gonna happen. Like, let's be honest. Now, let's talk about Tartaglia Ajax Child, or as I like to call him, Jax Chad. This is a real harbinger right here. This is what they're supposed to look like. This is my goat. This is my dog. I fuck with Ajax. I fuck with Tartaglia. That is absolutely my main man in the Fatui, besides Capitano. The list goes Capitano, Dottore, Tartaglia, and then Pantalone in the top 4 spot. And that's really all there is that I like within the Fatui. There's not much else I can say in regards to that. But holy shit. Talk about a man's fucking man. Talk about a harbinger that's really with it. Like, you couldn't make this shit up. Especially with what the Fatui are going through right now. Buddy, 11th of all the 4 Fatui Harbingers. Really, technically 3, because Arlecchino, like, her loyalty could flip at any moment, if I'm being so honest. But he has remained loyal to the cause. He still believes in this shit, even when times got tough. He self-nerfs, like, canonically, the bow is his weakest weapon, and he's still putting out damage numbers comparable to S-tier units and SS-tier units right now. Like, even in gameplay, this man is still hitting. In lore, he is still hitting. We actually get to see his feats with Foul Legacy taking out the Abyss Narwhal. Like, didn't he get jobbered? Didn't he get folded by, like, Nouvelette? Nouvelette was quaking, shaking in his fucking Jiminy Cricket Justice boots. Okay? That's what Nouvelette was doing. Because Nouvelette knew that if big Foul Legacy, not the little one, big Legacy came out, it was wraps. Right then and there. He didn't have his, like, Hydro Dragon authority at that point. I promise you, Tartaglia would have slimed him out. It would have been over for the Hydro Dragon right then and there. So he kind of had to step and be like, oh no, that's the delusion form. I know what comes after that. Ooh. And that's the shit he had to hit. Is there a chance that maybe they get better? You know what? No, cut the music. There's not a chance. No, there's really not. You want me to be so deadass honest with all of you? This is cooked. Unless Pantalone pulls something out of his ass, we are all so finished. It is very clear what they're doing is taking out all the Harbingers somehow, or having the good ones or, like, the redeemable ones switch sides, so that they can dismantle the Harbingers, and then the Tsaritsa steals the show. And I promise you the Tsaritsa is probably going to be some waifu. In conclusion, the Fatui is cooked. My favorite group in the Genshin-verse just got cooked, like, literally in one patch, and I'm not sure how that's feasibly fucking possible, but it took a total of 1 update string to break everything this organization had. I don't care whatever Project Stutza is, it's probably gonna flop. We're probably gonna dismantle it before it even has a chance to do something. It's like, it's so annoying that this is what they're doing now, is that they're just taking apart all the interesting things about the Fatui and tossing them out, and tossing out anything that made them, like, somewhat feasibly interesting as villains or as anti-heroes, as a group in general, or as, like, characters that I give a shit about. Take your slop home. I don't give a shit about these two. Nobody gives a shit about these two. I'm gonna go work on a video I actually want to fucking work on. I hate all of you. Peace. Like and subscribe. I actually don't hate all of you. Thank you for watching. I hate Hoyo, though. I'm still gonna keep playing the game, though. I'm just gonna keep bitching about it. But, in all honesty, most of this was out of semi-decent fun. I had fun doing it. And I got to test this little arrangement out, which you guys should tell me in the comments if you think this is an interesting way of, like, doing certain videos in the future. If I should, like, use this style a bit more. I like it. I think it's going to turn out cool. But I'm going to go work on another video now and do something that doesn't make me want to, in Minecraft, make a, like, rope neck build. Y'all have a good one. I'm gone.